Are the protests.
Yesterday, the leader of opposition in Parliament, Mathias Mpuuga, addressed journalists on their performance in the 11th Parliament as members of the opposition. In his address, Mathias Mpuuga revealed that as members of the opposition, they have been hampered by the budget constraints in executing their duties.
This budget is not money for the law to buy tomatoes and onions for his family, is for activities, allowances for staff, publishing necessary documents, official travel where needed.
Today, CTV sought some political analysts and scholars to weigh in on the performance of the opposition. According to Professor Sirajan Sanja, the opposition in Parliament failed to give an alternative to government, adding that their failures resulted into problems which are affecting Ugandans.
Opposition, they have failed us as a country. On many occasions, they have failed to provide alternative policies or alternative stand viewpoints and situations on a number of key issues within the country. Number one, when we look at the current standoff between the teachers of arts and the sciences teachers, we expect and we long for an alternative position coming from the opposition on the way forward. They are silent on that one.
Sanja, who rates the performance of the opposition in the first year at 40%, says the opposition need to work hard in the next term. However, Professor Dan Wandera Ogalo has a different opinion on the matter, revealing that the opposition scored well.
We look at the opposition vis-a-vis the performance of the financial sector today. They have totally exhibited total political bankruptcy and incompetence.
I have heard of motions by members of opposition which have moved towards asking government what is happening in a particular area. And it is good you raise the coffee thing. That is oversight brought by opposition. And I think that was the biggest news in recent times. Everybody should accept that all of us were sleeping until the opposition told us, your coffee has gone.
In his view, Professor Sanja also says that the opposition under Mathias Mpuuga has failed to work with the fellow opposition MPs from the Forum for Democratic Change Party, but Professor Ogalo says the opposition have tried their best to include other members in the shadow cabinet.
Some points, this unity has been challenged largely because of failure to cooperate by some political parties within Parliament, especially members from the Forum for Democratic Change, members of the Uganda People's Congress, and to some extent, members of the Democratic Party. They have not worked well with the leadership of the National Unity Platform.
As well, NUP could as well give all shadow ministries to their members. So by reaching out and saying you will be part of us, I think what the leader of opposition is doing is to create cohesion within the opposition.
The two professors also weigh in on what the opposition has managed to achieve in the past 1 year.
Managed to push in on reports and timely delivery on accountability committees within the House.
Most of the burning issues, especially on human rights, I've seen them even walk out of Parliament several times.
On failing to achieve certain tasks, Professor Ogalo says the numbers have been a factor.
One thing which must be appreciated and which is quite important is Parliament reaches the decisions through voting. Do you have the numbers to cause a change you want?
According to Mathias Mpuuga, the leader of opposition in Parliament, they will continue putting pressure on government in Parliament on matters they believe are not fair to Ugandans, such as the Uganda Vinci Coffee deal. Sarah Nakandi, CTV for PM Edition.